Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time. Oh yeah. So you guys, welcome to the TezDown. Except this is not exactly the TezDown. Today, the boys are back in town, and we are doing a special broadcast, the live version at the moment of the DDOG podcast. Let's welcome Asif Ali. Asif, you know what? We can never get this right unless you go ahead and do our intro. Go ahead, Ali.
Welcome to the DDOG podcast. Here's your host, Asif Ali. Join my co-host on this co-hosted episode of TezDown and DDOG, Cortez Branch Jr. with D-Rock, Derek Sampson, as well as Marcus Montalvo, both from out of Philly and Chicago, respectively. And today we are going to talk about Niners Bears. We're going to talk about Niners Seahawks, and we are going to talk about NFL and NFC playoff implications heading into this final week of the regular season. So with that said, let's kick it off.
Oh yeah. So I like to know. Marcus, myself, you know, we're on more of the Bears side. You know, I got a little bit of fandom towards the 49ers, so I couldn't be too mad about the game. Derek, where you stand at?
Yeah, man. I was just telling the guys, first off, I stand with the Giants always, but as far as these two teams playing each other, I mean, you really can't go wrong. I mean, I've always liked the Niners, but I love the city of Chicago. I'm happy for, you know, basically their 180 and how they're looking now. I've liked Caleb Williams, even though he paints his nails. I could do away with that, but I like Caleb Williams. I like a lot of the guys on Chicago. I like Ben Johnson. I love the city. So, you know, I really couldn't lose, but I was happy to see San Fran win because I do like probably my favorite thing about the regular season is that like final season battling for seeding and winning you're in, losing you go home type of thing. So I'm glad that San Fran won, and now they set up this one-on-one matchup with Seattle to see who takes the number 1 overall seed. So I know it was rough for my guys in Chicago, but it was a great game. Be happy about that. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
You know what? I think that's right. I mean, considering that the Giants haven't had very much to smile about this year.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Welcome to the chat, Sco. How you doing? Passport Sco in the building. That's 333s in the chat. What's up? What's up, chat 333? Y'all getting a special look at the DDOG podcast today. If you guys never experienced it before, these are the boys, and we are back in town.
Yes, sir.
We got a video for y'all. We're going to start off this the right way. We got 49ers, Bears, anticlimactic or climactic, thrilling ending. The 49ers won by about 2 yards, guys, if you want to be honest. I think that it was a very well-placed game. Also, all 4 referees that were a part of the Chicago Bears and 49ers game are under investigation by the league because the Bears had over 100 more yards and penalties than the 49ers, including on 2 takeaways. So now we both know Brock Purdy messed up and they saved his ass.
Let's say that one more time for the camera.
Brock Purdy,
yes, sir,
effed up.
Okay,
and they saved his ass.
5 TDs. Let's talk, baby. Let's talk.
Been 3.
That should have been 2. Let's be real.
Was immaculate.
If our defense was where it should have been.
FedEx air delivery and UPS ground too.
How they gonna bring a guy and then he throws the flag after the Bears have already returned the ball 20 yards? Okay. Oh, it was illegal hands to the face on this jackass on the defensive line. That play, them hands to the face had nothing to do with that play at all.
Hey man, we spotted y'all with 7 points to start the game. I mean, y'all can't be complaining that much about the refs. I mean, y'all
you were the second best quarterback on our team. What are you talking about?
Spotted. Yeah, show this.
We got Chicago on their drive. That's where we're going to take it from, and we're really gonna dissect this. So, Ollie, at any time, feel free to have me stop this.
Let's go.
Crazy game. Let's pause right here to set the stage. So Bears 49ers both still fighting for the 1 seed. If the 49ers win, they get a chance to have a matchup against Seattle. Winner will take the 1 seed. If Chicago wins, they just need a Seattle loss the final game of the season.
I apologize for the guy that's doing this video. He has a hot dog in his mouth, and it's kind of hard to talk with that.
Along with a win to get the 1 seed. But here, Chicago finds themselves down 4, 33 seconds left, facing a 4th and 5. However, Caleb Williams takes the snap, finds the rookie Colston Loveland, who gets wide open. They're able to pick up the first down, setting up this situation a little bit later.
It'll be good to see the 49ers in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Energy,
21 seconds left in the game.
I'm gonna say, save that energy, my man. Save that energy. We out here. Keep that energy. Just keep that same energy, because let me let the audience know we do weekly podcasts. All right.
Yep.
So we're gonna be back on next week. We're gonna be back on the week after. We're gonna be back on, and this is transcribed, recorded. It's gonna be uploaded. So I'm gonna tell my co-host the most. Keep that same energy. We'll come back. Go ahead.
Hey, remember who's batting 1,000 on picking the Super Bowl winner though?
Hey, I'm starting to think like, okay, guys. So we got everything going for us on Wednesdays. I mean, maybe we should start doing them on Wednesdays, seeing as how we all seem to be available at some point on Wednesday.
Okay, yeah. Press play. Let's watch this.
I get it.
Yeah.
Timeouts at this point. They actually burned timeout prior to that 4th down play. And hey,
you
can't fault it too much, right?
Yeah,
because it made sure everyone ran the right play. They were able
to okay. There we go.
As you guys can see right here, we're on 2nd and 10. And
there we go.
Okay, so we got slipping coverage on the defensive line, which allows for this
nice play. See, that's where Ben Johnson comes in, because if you watch this play, I mean, the pitch at first, throwing it to the tight end, then pitch back to Swift. I mean, that's phenomenal play calling.
Where do you think the Bears messed up here?
Well, press play. Yeah, see, Caleb actually had a receiver in the corner. I understand why he didn't want to go that way, but he just basically was, because here's the thing. See, Niners, I said this on the podcast this morning. I said Niners are dead last in sacks, but what's not being accounted for are the pressures that the Niners defensive line are getting. Like, you look at this and the pursuit, like that's a testament to Robert Saleh's defense, in the sense that how quickly, or kind of like how much aggression this D line plays with, even without having their dogs up front, like Nick Bosa, or like whoever else, right? Or Mykel Williams, right? Number 9 overall pick. But you see, I mean, I think, it was kind of like a situationally type like thing where Caleb was flush out of the pocket because the pressure just basically, and again, the Bears have one of the best offensive lines in the league, if I'm not mistaken, right? So you see this, and obviously it's his second year as a quarterback. He's going to get better in kind of these situations. And I think it's just one of those things where, the pressure came too fast. He probably had a few options open. It's just that, he had to kind of get out of there. Oh, what's that? He avoided that tackle almost as good.
You guys welcome McKinnon to the building. McKinnon is still trying to buy my Godzilla hoodie.
All right, so go ahead and play through it again. Let's just finish this up. Let's see what happens right here.
I would say Caleb had a good 5 to 10 yards where he could have tried to advance the ball.
Well, the problem is though, if you see the defenders right there, you see there's Bethune and that dude right there, big boy up there. I mean, there's no guarantee he's going to get to the end zone. So
well, I don't think he should get to the end zone. I think he should get to about the 5.
The problem is though, there's 0 seconds left on the clock, so he has to score in the situation.
Right. So he's thinking, get the ball out instead of trying to let the play develop. I would have thought, advance the ball to the 5-yard line. Let the defenders converge upon these guys. These 2 guys already got him. He's on the ground already. He's not getting Caleb.
Yeah.
And 96 might, but by the time that Caleb gets to the 5, this guy is not going to catch Caleb Williams. Caleb could have dumped this ball off. There's a guy, Luther Burton, standing in the back right here.
Yeah, Luther was actually free. Actually, yeah, so go press play. All right. Right there. Okay, he stops. He waits. See Luther. Yeah, see Luther. I mean, yeah, it's.
Yeah, you see, he missed 62. Missed the block. That's a bad pursuit angle right here.
Yeah,
he missed the block. Caleb was forced to throw the ball short. Okay, look, I'm going to say it, guys. Watching this back, at the way that we've watched this back, I have to hazard a guess here and say that any of these guys should have or would have been able. Either one of these teams should have won this game.
Yep.
Like this is one of those games where I think it was 7 straight possessions of touchdowns.
Yep, no point, no plus.
Yeah, no points for 7 possessions. 7 possessions, they scored touchdowns. That is not an easy task.
Well, that makes me when you say that, I think to myself, okay, great. Is it great offense or is it bad defense?
Right.
But you see, this is what the stat sheet doesn't show you. You saw that right there, right on that last play, right?
Vegas made the call.
Pursuits. I mean, the stat sheet is going to show you a sack. It's going to show you a pick. It's going to show you a pass defended. It's not going to tell you about how many times the defensive line flushed the QB out of the pocket to make an errant throw, right?
So I agree, but there's 2 things to that. One is in the beginning of that play, you see the end on San Francisco make a great play by basically negating the guy in the flat, because Caleb was looking to go straight to Swift, but he essentially made Caleb pump fake, hold the ball a little bit longer, which allowed the trailing DB to come cover Swift. Because if that DN doesn't make that play, then that's a touchdown. Swift walks right in. And then, so like you said, that doesn't show in the stat sheet. What's interesting to me, though, is that from watching Caleb Williams, he has, to me, one of the most impressive outside of the pocket
scrambling.
Like he's such a threat with his arm, 100%. With his legs. So
his
for
legs
him to have been flushed out the pocket and not been able to make a play, obviously they're in the red zone, so it's a condensed field. But I mean, you can't rest. That might not even be like a advantageous thing for the defense once Caleb is on the move outside the pocket.
It's not. Historically, especially this season, you're actually in a worse position on defense if Caleb's outside the pocket.
I've been watching the Bears games all season, and I would believe the stats back that up.
Yes, the stats back it up.
He's a game breaker outside.
If Caleb is outside the pocket, he is more dangerous than inside of it.
Agreed.
Because also, I mean, to your point, the ability to make plays with his legs. I mean, Caleb is actually one of the most underrated dual threat quarterbacks in the league. I mean, he has blazing lightning speed when it comes out. I mean, he escapes kind of outside of the outside the pocket and kind of leaks out in the bootleg or tries to make a play. And so it's one of those things where it's like, and that's why I'm saying, like, I think he's only going to get better. I mean, these situations where basically you have like a DN in your face and you can't like make a read. Like, that's all about anticipation. That's all about just kind of knowing where you are, situational awareness. Just give him a year or two. He's gonna get it. Like, I mean, he has.
We're on year 2 of Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
and aside from being on year 2 of Caleb Williams, we're in year 1 with Ben Johnson as the head coach.
Exactly. No, 100%. Yeah.
To go 10-4.
Yeah.
What 10-4 right now, right? 10-4, 11-4. To go 11-4 in the NFL is a feat that is unprecedented by teams that are not Super Bowl contenders. Every team that's 11-4 right now is a Super Bowl contender. Every team that's 12-4 or 12-3, they're Super Bowl contenders. Like, there's not many of them. You know what I mean? There's not that many. 11-5 right now because we lost to the 49ers. So 11-5, that you're still 6 games over 500. You're still number 1 in you clinched your division 2 weeks ago. Like right now, we have a situation in about 3 or 4 divisions where they're heavyweights battling each other. And what we got to see was a playoff preview. This was not a regular season game. This was a playoff preview. And to answer Derek's question about the defense, yes, this game was highly defensive. The issue is you have 2 hungry young quarterbacks with names to prove. You have 2 offensive coordinators and two head coaches with names to prove, and you have hungry defenses. Both of those offenses wore the defense out, and the defense didn't stop coming. So, yes, they were putting up points, but look at the way that the points were getting put up. C-Mac doing C-Mac stuff. He's unstoppable. He's probably one of the best backs in the whole world. You have Brock Purdy, who's consistently one of the best quarterbacks in the league every year. Last year was kind of a down year. This year he came back and won his starting job back from Mac Jones. which he won that job back. It wasn't just handed to him. He won that job back. The San Francisco faithful ready to say, let Mac Jones take the rest of the season. Weren't they not?
At one
For
point.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, but I do think there is something to be said, because I saw Marcus Other smiling. the defense, yeah, I mean, and to Derek, to your overall point, I think, yeah, the defense, at least San Francisco, there are still spots that can be exposed. There are clear gaps in the secondary with the second stringers playing. Obviously, Chase Lucas filling in for Renardo Green. Who's the other one? The other guy, I forgot his name. I just said his name this morning. I forgot his name. Darrell Ludo Jr. I hate that name, because when I went to Vegas last year, he's the reason why we lost. So that's why I forget that name 2 years ago. So Darrell Ludo Jr. is the other one, filling in the secondary, I think, for safety, for Stout or whichever one. So the issue is there's a lot of youth. And with that, that's one of those issues that can be exploited. Now, with that said, if the 49ers offense, to your point, Tez, if they continue playing at this pace with CMC, Brock Purdy has to just keep this going. That's really what it comes down to. Because, if you have a game with no punts and you're basically able to just, score every single drive, I think it was just 1 or 2 drives which they did not score, they're going to be a very tough out in the postseason, right? Yeah, and to kind of on the flip side of the Bears, right? If the Bears can also play the same way that they did, right, where they also score almost on every possession, and their defense comes up with a takeaway points off the turnover, right? Then there's also a very good chance the Bears can make a deep run this year too. So I mean, it's basically TBD, but I mean, there's positives, negatives, but positives take away from both teams. So
yeah.
So I have a question for you guys. Who do we see in the NFC Championship game? Which 2 teams?
Are we unbiased or biased?
You can be as biased as you want. This is a DDOG podcast special edition on the TezDown. We're unfiltered and unscripted.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna go. Sorry, Marcus. I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say Niners and Bears.
I honestly was gonna say the same thing. To me.
Yeah, because the reason I say that is because Philly's been up and down. They haven't shown you consistency on offense. The Rams, obviously, they could have Stafford's having an MVP season, but you saw what happened on Monday. If he's not playing at his full level, any team can beat them, that happens more often than not, unfortunately.
In the immortal words of Classic from the Classic Codes, Stafford has a bad back, and it is catching up to him. His numbers have been dropping every week since the bye.
It's crazy. Yeah, every week. Since they lost to Carolina, they've just been regress. They lost to Seattle. Now they lost to Atlanta on prime time. You lose to Atlanta on prime time.
Atlanta, Seattle, Carolina. Are these teams that are going to be in the Super Bowl? No.
Exactly. So,
Seattle only kicks field goals.
Yeah, I would say Seattle is the only major threat. I would say in the NFC outside of Niners, I would say Seattle would be the major threat in terms of being complete on both sides of the ball. Because
who's going to win? 6 touchdowns or 6 field goals? Yeah,
well, that's true. So, Seattle's offense. That's the thing, because Seattle's offense is kind of lackluster. Even though JSN's having he's leading the league in receiving and everything. Sam Darnold's doing pretty well. Their run game is kind of up and down, and they're basically Jekyll and Hyde. There's weeks where they can look great, like they did against, but Carolina was kind of giving them run for the money for 3 quarters, up until that 4th quarter where they broke free. So
Classic said he doesn't even know why we're talking about the Bears. Passport Sko said he's going Bears and Eagles. I don't see the Eagles being able to make it to the NFC Championship.
No. I think there's a stat I saw today where they said the Eagles are I think when Jalen Hurts passes for over 100 yards, they're I think they're 1-5. Yes. But then when he passes under 100 yards, they're 9-0.
Yes. They are a ground team with Saquon leading the charge.
But then that's the question. How come then if Saquon's leading the charge, why can't he do it consistently? That's the thing.
Well, like we said earlier, that comes down to coaching again. I mean,
Yeah.
it shows massive inconsistencies where if you're going to have that kind of performance one week and then it's very, very lackluster the next, or, so on and so forth, then that comes down to the coaching. If you're not calling the right plays or motivating your team, and I mean, there's other leaders on the team too. It's not just the coaches, but it all comes down to just, your leaders on the team. And if you're not going to be able to pull your team up when the talent is there, I mean, obviously. So why are we not able to see a consistent game out of this team?
I think you guys are kind of discrediting the Eagles. I think that, I mean, I don't have them going to the Super Bowl either, but the way you guys are talking about the Niners and the Bears, I think
if I
the
beat
Eagles
you by
deserve.
30 points, I'm going to discredit you.
Who beat the Eagles by 30 points?
Chicago.
Okay. Okay.
Chicago did everything they wanted in that game.
All right.
Everything. They defeated the tush push. The first team in the NFL to beat the tush push. The Eagles got off 0 successful tush pushes against Chicago. They got stopped on 4th and 1 4 times against Chicago, including at the goal line. On top of that, Caleb Williams decided he wanted to turn into Tom Brady and throw the ball forever. Luther Burden looked like he was Randy Moss. Colston Loveland looked like he was a mix between Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. Bill Belichick looked like he's a Bears coach at this point. And that was because the Eagles just weren't good that day. I'm not saying that the Eagles aren't a good team. I'm saying they weren't good that day. And I think that, Chicago got the medicine for them.
Well, to kind of go back to what we were saying even before that, with the defenses and stuff. I mean, when Chicago's good, it's good, but when it's bad, real bad.
It's real bad.
That's my thing. Is like, even though I want you to keep going, Mark, but even though the Eagles are head cases and they're up and down, they do have a better defense than the Niners and the Bears.
100%. No, 100%. Vic Fangio
the Bears lead the league in takeaways.
Yeah, Vic Fangio is the only reason why I can't write them off completely, because Vic Fangio's defense is probably. I mean, to be honest, I think the Eagles have the best defense in the NFC out of all the playoff teams. Heading into the postseason. So
I'm gonna take my takeaways.
Yeah, and then what I was gonna say was I think actually the Bears beat the Bears are up 24-9 heading into like 6 minutes left in the game. Then the Eagles got like a garbage touchdown, 3 minutes left. So the Bears did dominate them that day. It was 24-9, 15 points. I mean, so it's one of those things where it's like it's gonna be hard for me to say just because the Eagles are defending champs. I mean, but that's kind of the flip side. They are defending champs, so they've been there, they've done that. I mean, they have the veterans on that team to kind of, but the problem is, like, to the point, like, they won 3-0, but their offense still is just not clicking for whatever reason. Now,
can we be honest here?
What's up?
The Eagles have a good record because they play in the NFC East.
I mean, that's fair. And they lost to Dallas. They let Dallas come back. I remember on
Dallas beat the Eagles.
Yeah, Dallas came back down 21-0 and beat them 24-21 on Thanksgiving Day. I mean, that's just like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like they
didn't show up. It's like they unplugged the controller.
Christmas and New Year's weekend, those are all considered bowl games.
Well,
right?
And also against the Bills, the offense didn't score a single point in the second half, and the Bills actually should have won that game. I don't know why they went for 2 at the end. I mean, if they kick the field an extra point and go to overtime, I have no doubt the Bills win in overtime.
The Bears have lost one game in the last 10.
Well, I'm just saying the Eagles' offense has been so bad, like heading in. We're this late in the year, and we still know who they are. I just can't give them that.
Okay. I'll ask this question. I hate being the guy that's sticking up for the Eagles, but I'm gonna ask it, right? So the Eagles play the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo and win 13-12, and the Rams, and the Bears just had a shootout with the 49ers, right? What style of play do we think is more likely to be replicated in the playoffs?
A shootout.
A shootout? Okay.
Yep.
Agree to disagree. I guess
if you look at the trends from Super Bowls and all the playoff games, these teams are scoring upwards of 30 points. That's like the low end. The low end is 30 points in a playoff game right now over the last 5 years. You don't see too many 7-14 playoff games in modern day playoffs, especially in the last 5 years.
All right, let me ask you this. I think what did the Bears have? 38?
Yeah.
If the Eagles score 38 points in a game, do they lose?
When's the last time the Eagles scored 38 points?
That's actually a good point too.
Let me see. Last time was week 15. They had 31. Week 16 they had 29. I mean, they can score.
Keep going. Keep going.
But it's not
Um,
38. That's the
Educational.
problem.
Last time they had 38 was
When's
week
the last time they scored 35 or more points?
week 8 against my Giants.
Against the Giants.
Yep.
What's the Giants' record?
Not good.
It's not playoffs. That's what it is. See,
Have they
that's what
won 3 games this season?
Not good. It was bad. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, the offenses wake up in the playoffs. I mean,
Now,
regardless
I
of how
know-
the defenses are playing, I mean, yeah, your offenses are still going to score.
I am not going to discount the Super Bowl champion Eagles. I'm not going to discount them. I just don't think they're as good this year as they were last year. That's all.
That's fair.
And I think that there are some teams that they matched up well against that got better. I think the 49ers have gotten better this season. I think that they're a more cohesive unit than they used to be. I think the Seahawks have done a really good job on defense in a so-so job on offense of putting up field goals. Because face the facts, the Eagles kick more not the Eagles, the Seahawks kick a lot of field goals, man. They kick a lot of field goals.
No, the argument there would be judging on the performance of the 49ers in the Bears game. And I mean, we're going to get a test of it coming up this week with the Seahawks anyway, with the 49ers. If that's the same consistent play that they're going to have, where it's all offense against the Seahawks defense, who prevails?
If the Eagles play the Seahawks, then the Eagles are going to win that game. In my opinion.
No. I'm saying Seahawks and 49ers. As in, this game is coming up next week because of that defense with the Seahawks versus the 49ers offense. If
I'm going to be honest,
if it's the same as what we saw this last week with the Bears, where it was almost all offense and kind of a lackluster defense on both sides of the ball.
Well, I mean, you had 2 takeaways with Chicago. Would have been 3 if the referees wouldn't have stuck their big fat noses in it. We had the Bears penalized for over 100 yards. Extending the 49ers, I think people need to watch the game over. The 49ers got more than several drives extended just because of ticky-tack penalty calls, including in the first quarter to help them catch up in the first place. Their first drive wasn't even clean. To be honest, if I rewatch that game, I don't know if the 49ers had one cleave drive against the Chicago Bears. But we're going to hear what the guys got to say, because for some strange reason, they're live in our studio right now. Welcome, Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey to the DDOG podcast.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're thankful to be in this position, but I've said this before, it's just been one of those kind of years where it's like you have to focus on just the next day, the next man up, finding a way to win each Sunday. And then at the end, you can look up and see where you're at. And so for us to be in this position is really cool. We're all grateful for it, but at the same time, we have to go do something about it. And we got to watch the film, get better, and go execute and win.
Brock, you guys scored 42 points about all of them tight end and all of them left tackle. You had a lot to do with it, everyone contributed. But how good is your offensive play call?
How good is the what? Offensive
play call?
Yeah. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach. So, I mean, to be able to have him draw up stuff and scheme stuff up for us and put guys in certain positions and for us to just go out and execute, be on top of our stuff every single play, we're grateful to be playing for him, man. So, obviously, every single week he goes all in and gives everything he's got for this team, this organization, to make sure we're put in the right positions and to go out and have a chance. And so anytime we step out in the field with him as our play caller, man, we're always going to have a chance.
Of how Austin Plays did at left tackle for virtually the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, did amazing. Obviously, to have Trent go down first play, it's like, dang. And for him to then Austin jump right in, and he's a guy that we all love. And over the year, he's just been great in our locker room and just one of the boys on the bus. Like, everyone loves him, and he's done a great job just being ready all year. So for him to go in and play well like he did and allow our offense to keep rolling and not lose step, it was huge. So we all got his back, and he's going to keep getting better.
So you guys think that Brock Purdy is the quarterback of the future when it comes to these 49ers? Like, there was a lot of talk over the offseason of them maybe looking to draft somebody else.
After that contract they just gave him, they don't have a choice for him to be the QB of the future.
So you think because they gave him the 220 something that he was looking for, that he has to perform?
Absolutely. And I think that he's Shanahan's guy, and as long as Shanahan is there, Purdy will be there.
Okay, yeah, I think as long as I think the same thing. Do you think Mac Jones goes and tries to get a job somewhere else?
I think he's under contract for one more season, and I think the Niners keep him. I think they keep him and trade him at some point during the season next year when they can get something for him. But I think they have to have a kind of a backup for Purdy, considering Purdy, getting hurt, those type of things. So
okay,
yeah,
we're gonna welcome C-Mac to the mic.
This offense is putting up a lot of points. We've been on teams where they've done that, but right now, how does it feel like in terms of the groove you're in going into most critical times?
It feels great, man. Yeah, I think we're getting better every week, and that's what we say every week is our only goal is to keep getting better in every aspect of the game. And so I'm proud of our guys, proud of the resiliency in that locker room, and we got to keep rolling.
We were asking you why the run game wasn't working. Now it's working. Why is that? What do you see?
I think just a collective effort of guys just sticking to the plan, continuing to get better, straining, and I mean, there's not like one answer. And I think it's 11 guys just committing to it, and O-line's.
Thanks, C-Mac, for your PC answers. We're gonna move on.
My bad. Hold on. Before we move on, I think I missed all of Derek's thing about him trying to advocate for the Eagles, which is blasphemy because he's a Giants fan. So, Derek, can you repeat whatever you just said, and then we can kind of react?
I'm not advocating. I'm just saying I think the Eagles do present things that are threats to every other top contender in the NFC.
I would say defensively, yes. Now, but with that said, like you saw when they beat the Rams this year. Like, see, that's the thing. The Eagles, like, they're the way that they win these games, it's just like, I mean, basically the Rams are going to kick a field goal. Jordan Davis blocks the field goal, runs it back in for a touchdown. Like, the chances of that happening, like, on any given Sunday, like, again, especially in the postseason, probably like 0 to 1, right? Same with like the Bills, like being like not scoring. Like Josh Allen probably makes that throw 10 out of 10 times, if that, or 9 out of 10 times. That one time he didn't make it, kind of go ahead. So I agree. The defense is probably the best in the NFC. I just don't know if it's enough, because when the playoffs start, like you have to be like fully like locked in, and you got to know who you are heading into the postseason. Like your playoffs, when you start the postseason, like especially your offense, right? If you don't have an identity kind of established, like if you're going to run the ball, if you're going to throw it, if you know what I mean, like, and receivers are dropped. And I don't understand. Like, it's just, I'm not gonna say it's a hangover, but it's just like, it's kind of like, it's giving me that kind of vibe,
Okay.
Yeah. All I'm saying is the Eagles, I think, have won games in more ways than any other team. That's all that I'm saying, right? I mean, we've seen Jalen Hurts go crazy. We've seen Saquon go crazy. We've seen them win throwing, win running, win special teams, win off defense. So I just think their game travels well. And you say, well, they won a game by blocking a field goal, or, well, they won a game that Josh Allen makes that throw 99 out of 100 times. I mean, if every time they face someone and they make a team do something that team has never done before, I feel like they should get some credit for that. That's all.
No, absolutely. Yeah. No, they're definitely going to be a problem. I don't know how far they can go. I mean, because the reason I'm saying that is because if LA comes into right now, if LA at the 6 seed goes at Philly at the 3 seed, let me ask you, who you betting on in that game if you have to choose?
Philly versus who?
LA, the Rams. If the Rams come in, have to play them, on Wild Card Weekend. Who you going with?
Yeah. I don't like the Eagles. I'm gonna go with the Rams because I think it's hard to beat a team over and over.
Exactly.
And over and over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also like the way that they won the last 2 times. The Rams had them last year in the postseason. It was a 1%. It was 26.
That was a great game too.
Yeah, and then this year again, they should have won that game too, but then they just come out and every dog. I mean, they're going to have extra motivation. I think there's going to be. Here's another thing. Eagles are the hunted this year, bro. I mean, they're basically every team is gunning for the champs, right? Yeah. So it's not like last year where they were like, playing the house money. The Chiefs are the dynasty. We got to just beat the Chiefs. the Eagles have done that now. Now that they got the target on their back, I'm curious to see how well they respond to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I agree, but it's kind of the same thing you guys are saying. Like, you guys are talking about the Niners and the Bears, possibly Seattle.
Mhm.
I feel like the Eagles have had such a weird season that they might not be the hunted anymore. Everybody's kind of discrediting them. So now they might be able to say, well, now we're hunting because we're being disrespected, So
I'm going to say the Rams, though. If it's the Rams going to Philly, Rams are going to – Philly is the hunted because the Rams have a reason. They're 0-3 the last few times they played. So
exactly.
That matchup
guys,
is
– what we got, right? So we got a playoff picture here.
Yep, there you go. Thank you.
Let's remove this playoff picture. And why is it
zoom in a little bit on that? If you can, that's fine because I can see. Oh, go back.
Let me see if I can fix that.
If you can, it's fine. Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. Just keep it right there. Yeah, basically you see right here. So what Tez has on the screen. So obviously Green Bay would probably place obviously it'd be NFC North matchup. That'd be fun actually. Chicago and Green Bay and wild card.
For sure.
Rams at Philly, and then Niners at Carolina. Now this is if Niners lose this weekend to Seattle, right? Niners win, then they move up to the 1. Seattle moves down to 5. Seattle goes back to Carolina. Either way, I think either of the teams from the NFC West wins. If it's Tampa Bay that wins against Carolina this weekend, I mean, Niners lost Tampa Bay, but I think if they go back, I mean, Tampa Bay's been kind of struggling, so I think they should win that game if they go a rematch. But I mean, with this view right here, like I'm telling both of you, I'm telling everyone who's watching this right now, like I think Chicago beats Green Bay at home because Chicago, I mean, like the same thing. What we're talking about the Rams and Philly, like the trauma of losing to Aaron Rodgers year in and year out, like there is some added motivation for the Bears to whoop Green Bay's ass. Like that's. I mean, there is some added extra motivation for them to win that game. The Rams going to Philly. The Philly, I mean, yeah, the defense is probably still going to be locked in. Is their offense going to be locked in? I still don't know. And the Rams offense, I mean, they're going to be like extra motivated to kind of, because they probably are also thinking like, okay, Stafford's our MVP. Like we screwed up. We could have won the West. We could have had a bye week, right? And the fact that Philly's been whooping our ass all these years. Like they're going to have extra motivation to go in there because they probably are also heading to that game saying that we should have won last year in the postseason and we should have won this year, and that's what impacted our playoff seeding, because they lost that game to Philly. So there's going to be some and Niners of Carolina. I mean,
so we got right here the bigger version of this. We got Denver and Buffalo, New England, LA, Jacksonville. Denver and Seattle get the bye week.
Yeah, see, okay, so that's if they get the bye. So actually, no, the way we have right now, so the ones you have to subtract them from the wild card, right? So you got New England. See, it's a lot of divisional matchups. Honestly, is Buffalo at New England and the NFC East kind of rematch? Jacksonville the Chargers at Jacksonville, Houston, the Steelers at Houston, right? And Houston's defense is, and I think D-Rock, you said this earlier today, like these bottom 3 seeds in the AFC. The Chargers, the Jaguars, and the Texans, right? I mean, those 3 teams, in my opinion, too, are probably the most dangerous teams in that conference.
Agreed. Yep.
Just because of how they play. I mean, that their defense and the formula to win is so. I mean, I'm not gonna say fundamentally sound, but
it travels though.
It travels well. Yes, there you go.
So what needs to happen here, from what I'm seeing, is I see that Seattle needs to lose to San Francisco this week.
Seattle needs to lose to San Francisco.
And
why? What does this mean?
Yeah.
So let's break this. Let's break it down. Since I can't use their music, but let's break it down. All right. So you have, if Seattle loses to San Francisco will, and so this is a twofold thing. If Seattle loses to San Francisco, and Tampa beats Carolina, Tampa takes the place of Carolina in the 4 seed. San Francisco then plays Tampa. Seattle goes to the 2 seed, and they play Green Bay.
No. San Francisco would have the bye week, and then Seattle will go play Tampa. Because whoever wins this weekend, whoever loses
over the 1 seed.
Yeah. Because whoever wins is going to be the 1. Whoever loses is going to be the 5. That's just how it works.
And then if Chicago beats the Lions, they still stay the 2 seed.
Yeah, Chicago. I mean, I think Chicago's going to be locked in.
Tiebreaker.
Yeah. Chicago's gonna pretty much be locked in for that spot. I mean, I think because they already beat the Eagles head to head, so even if they lose this weekend, I mean, this should be fun. I think so. The thing is, though, I think what you're trying to say is, for the Niners, if they win and Seattle loses, then the Niners have a better position because then they don't have to go play Tampa, because Niners play Tampa this year.
The Niners to play Tampa.
Yeah, because Tampa basically, I mean, when they played this year, I mean, Baker exploited a whole lot on that defense. I mean, it was 30-19 final score. So, I mean, they couldn't stop. They couldn't beat them. But I think if they play again, they should be able to win that game because Brock is playing much better. And also they had Mac Jones that game. They didn't have Brock. So that's
Jared, you have it pulled up. What happens if Green Bay loses this weekend?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I wonder because then I think Green Bay, aren't they locked in?
They're locked in.
Yeah, they're locked into the 7th seed. Yeah, so I mean,
they're locked into the 7.
Yeah,
so they can't lose their 7th seed.
No,
correct.
Yeah, they're pretty much out for the 6th.
What is their record?
They're like, I think 10-4.
I got it pulled up. They're 9-6.
Yeah, 9-6. Yeah, so
the Vikings, if they lose, they become 9-7, and they're 9-6-1. So that one tie is actually what helps Green Bay.
Oh, you're talking about a tie. Okay.
Yeah, so they have that tie. They have that tie. So let's say the Bears beat the Lions this weekend. The Lions are already out of playoff contention. They've been eliminated. So have the Vikings. So if the Bears beat the Lions, even if the Lions won, they would go to 9-8, and that's still less than the Packers. And the Packers will go 9-7. They got the tie. They've lost 3 straight though. The Packers have lost 3 straight games. The Vikings have won 4 straight. The Lions have lost 3 straight as well.
Okay, so I just found out, everything that depends on each thing for this NFC playoff. So Seattle plays San Fran for the 1 seed.
Yep.
If Seattle wins, if Seattle wins and they beat San Francisco and the Rams beat the Cardinals, the Rams move up to the 5 seed and San Francisco takes the 6 seed. That would be interesting. That would be crazy.
Yeah, the Rams. Let me see what the Rams' record is. They are. Oh, you're right. Because the Rams are 11-5. 49ers have dropped to 12-5. So, but the Rams wouldn't hold the tiebreaker, right? Because 49ers have a better divisional record, I think right?
It looks like they would hold the tiebreaker over.
That's crazy.
Over the 49ers, yeah.
They would. They have the Bears. The Bears lost the tiebreaker against San Francisco. And the Rams have the tiebreaker over San Francisco.
Yeah.
So this is a crazy playoff picture that we have right now.
It is.
So that means Niners will go to Philly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
If the Rams win and the Niners lose, the Niners go to Philly. Wow.
For all
I would love that.
Purposes, we are no longer in the regular season.
Yeah.
Every game is playoff football from here on out.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Last week actually started this.
Well, 100%. I mean, now that we're this is probably the most exciting regular season that we've had in like recent memory because
in a decade.
Yeah, I don't remember where everything hinged on the last week of the season for playoff seeding. Like I can't remember.
Yeah,
I mean, the starters are sitting by now.
So not only are those things at stake, but as if you just said the Niners might have to go to Philly, but if Philly wins this week 18 and the Bears lose week 18, Philly goes to the 2 seed.
Oh,
yeah.
We got a rematch Chicago.
Which arguably is better for the Bears.
It's arguably better for the Bears to play the Niners?
Well, it's better for the Bears to play the Philly.
No. What would happen would be the Philadelphia Eagles would move to 2, Chicago would move down to 3. And if the Niners
that would be better for the Chicago too. If Chicago plays San Francisco in Chicago, which Chicago's gonna get the home field advantage. If they play in Chicago, then Chicago has the advantage over San Francisco.
Yeah, they have home field advantage, but I would say that the Niners, I mean, I'm basically talking out both sides of my mouth here because I'm like, oh, the Eagles, they have experience, but that's not enough. The Niners have experience, And so I'm just like, I feel like that's defensively, no, because defensively, a lot of youth, but like Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Kyle Shanahan, like if Kittle's back, Trent's back, they have the veterans on that team basically like, and Chicago, I mean, this is their coming out party, right? This is Caleb Williams' coming out party this year. I don't know who they have outside CJ Gardner-Johnson, who's been like a seasoned vet with playoff experience, on that entire roster. So, I mean, that's one thing to consider with Chicago. I mean, now I
gotta say this: the 49ers are number 2 on the list of the NFL's worst cold weather teams.
Wow,
that's
crazy.
As in, like, of all time, or
since 2011.
Wow. But I feel like they've won recently in cold weather.
They have.
Like they won recently in Green Bay. They won. They lost in Philly because Brock got injured in the NFC Championship 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Brock was healthy. I mean, it'd probably be a much more closer game. I'm not saying that they would have won that game.
Last year, the coldest game they played was in Cleveland, and it was 30 degrees with a 40-mile-per-hour wind, and they beat Cleveland last year. That's not saying much.
No, it's not. I mean, but I'm saying that, like, in my recent memory of watching this team in the postseason, well, you know what, though? I mean, to your point, I do remember when they went to Buffalo last year and they got blown out. But it was Brandon Allen at quarterback. It wasn't Brock Purdy. So, I mean, that's a complete – again, I mean, it's crazy. Here's the thing that everyone keeps glossing over. Yeah, everyone's like, oh, Brock's a game manager. Brock's limited. He has Kittle. He has McCaffrey. He has all these weapons. He has Kyle Shanahan. Like, look what happens when Brock doesn't play. I mean, outside of Mac Jones this year, like, look what happens when you take anyone off the street and try to, like, and people forget Mac Jones was a Pro Bowl quarterback at one point in New England. So, like, Brock Purdy is a franchise quarterback. Like, he literally is the engine that makes it all go. If he's not there, this team is a completely different team,
Right.
So it's just it's interesting to say the least.
So we've done that on the NFC. We definitely promised them some AFC action. What do you guys think about the AFC?
Well, I think here when I'm looking at this, obviously Buffalo, New England. I mean that's I mean that's a pick. I don't know. I mean, D-Rock, I'm gonna defer to you. I don't know who wins that game. That's wow. I mean, because New England's beaten them twice this year, if I'm not mistaken. But
two
then
times. Yeah,
what's up? Two times, yeah. And then Buffalo's looking, but then to beat the same team 3 times in a row, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah. So I think
that for me, that's a game. For me, that is a game that Vegas is gonna have the Patriots winning, and I'm gonna put big money on Buffalo.
Yeah, that's what I would do too.
Yeah.
If I was a betting man, I would do the same thing because I would take Buffalo and I would take the ML because I know for a fact that just how the nature of the league works. You have divisional games. You play the same team 3 times. You can't beat the same team 3 times in a row. That's that's odds have been, historically speaking. You can look it up. I mean, it's never happened. Almost never happened.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then Jacksonville, LA. If everyone remembers when they played like a few years ago with Brandon Staley as head coach, LA was up 31-0.
Yeah, that was
great. Came back and beat them 32-30, whatever it was. So, I mean, there's some bad blood because Justin Herbert was on that team. And so, I mean, Khalil Mack, I think, was on that team too back then. So, I mean, there are still some players, and Derwin James is obviously there. So, I mean, they probably got some.
Well, I do think that I might want to change you guys' opinion on just what might happen with this. We have breaking news about the Patriots.
Oh,
breaking right now on WBZ, New England Patriots star Stefon Diggs is facing serious criminal charges. We have just obtained paperwork from Dedham District Court indicating that the wide receiver is charged with felony strangulation or suffocation and misdemeanor assault and battery. This is stemming from an incident back on December 2nd. Diggs is scheduled to be arraigned on the charges in Dedham on January 23rd. That is just 2 days before the AFC Championship game. The wide receiver's attorneys were in court this morning for a hearing, and we are working to learn more about the incident that led to these charges. We did reach out to the Patriots for a statement. We have that for you here. It says the New England Patriots are aware of the accusations that have been made regarding Stefon Diggs. Stefon has informed the organization that he categorically denies the allegations. We support Stefon. We will continue to gather information and will cooperate fully with the appropriate authorities and the NFL as necessary. Out of respect for all of the parties involved and given that this is an ongoing legal matter, we will have no further comment at this time. We want to bring in Dan Roach now to talk about this with us and the impact, Roachy, that this could have for the team, for the playoffs. We've been on such a roll. How does Coach Vrabel make sure that this doesn't become a distraction for them?
Well, Brianna, I think it's very early in the fact-finding part of this as far as just what happened, how it happened, when it happened, who was involved, and everything else, which we haven't seen or heard yet. So I think that's the first part of it. And then the second part to me is that he categorically denies it when it comes to what happened. So we're going to have to find out the story. Beyond that, I can tell you that as a veteran, a wide receiver, a number one wide receiver coming in, there were questions about Steph Diggs and, how would he behave? How would he handle it? A lot of the number one wide receivers could be divas, if you call it, at times. And he has been nothing but a role model, a perfect citizen in that clubhouse or locker room for this New England Patriots team, so much so that he's emerged as a leader. The players look up to him. I think the coaching staff certainly respects him, and everything that he's done in a Patriots uniform has been good for the team. In fact, just the other day, post-game, after their win over the Jets down in New Jersey, he was speaking in the locker room talking about being 30 yards away from being a 1,000-yard wide receiver, I think for the 7th time in his career. And he had knee surgery last year and came back, and I think it meant a lot to him. He was almost, to me, kind of emotional, almost in tears, saying he just wants to win, that these milestones don't mean as much to him anymore in his career.
All right, so I think go back to the playoff bracket. I think we are coming up on the hours. Let's just go ahead. So I think kind of with that said, that just further bolsters my pick. And I think D-Rock, your pick for Buffalo over New England. I think also Jacksonville, the Chargers. I think LA will have some home. That's a toss-up. I don't know who's going to pick that, win that game. And then Pittsburgh, Houston at Pittsburgh, I'm going with Houston all day because Pittsburgh, especially without DK, I mean, they look terrible. And I mean, we don't even know if Pittsburgh's going to win. It might be Baltimore because
Exactly,
they're division, I mean, even if it's Baltimore, I mean, yeah, they got Derrick Henry, but I mean, Houston's defense is next level. I mean, that defense is just nasty, and they're a much more balanced team than Baltimore, even if they play. So I think for wild card, I'm going to go with Buffalo, LA, Chargers, Houston, and then for the NFC, Chicago, as it currently stands, Chicago, Philly, and Niners. So, sorry, Chicago, Rams, and Niners. God damn it, look at Derek. He made me give that Philly.
So we got some drama in the 4 seed. We got some drama in the 4 seed. We have a playoff game that's coming up, just like the one a few years ago, where Pittsburgh is playing again Baltimore for their final playoff spot.
Yes, sir. No, I mean this is again like what I said earlier. We have a significant amount of high stakes games this final week of the regular season. You have Pittsburgh against Baltimore, which could determine the North. You got Tampa Bay, Carolina, which can determine the NFC South. You got Niners at Seattle, which not only determined the NFC West, but also the 1 seed. So there is a significant amount of high stakes on the line this final week of the NFL regular season. So it's a very exciting year. I think we'll close out this episode with this podcast with this, at least from my end. I'm excited as hell to see what happens. I mean, I can't wait, but I'm hyped, to see kind of, who shows up and, big dog got to eat. So, starting Saturday as well as kind of Sunday, we'll see kind of who comes out on top. And then basically, we'll have a very fun, New Year episode of the podcast to preview the wild card round.
So my question, does Pittsburgh beat Baltimore, and does Lamar Jackson play?
No.
No and no.
Yep. No. There's Derrick Henry is on our level right now.
So you think they're gonna ride out into this potential playoff situation with Snoop?
Yeah, they're gonna ride out with what's the name? Tyler Huntley's the name, right?
Snoop. Yeah.
Snoop. I mean, it's insane to think about. Rodgers, had the Steelers, positioned to potentially get a 1 seed. Now they're basically going to miss the playoffs for the 4th straight year in Rodgers' career. At some point, you got to wonder, how much does he have left in the tank to keep going?
Yep.
So that's something else to consider.
Okay. I mean, I say it's going to be a wild weekend in Vegas. It's going to be a wild weekend in Vegas, and I want to say, hey, we'll be back.
Yes, sir.
You guys, get ready. We will be doing a weekly episode every week of both sports and wrestling every week. We haven't figured out which days yet, so it might be random, but we're going to try to figure it out together. We'll be doing a weekly episode of both sports and professional wrestling in 2026. It's been a great 2025 for the DDOG podcast, for the TezDown, and all of the affiliates, the Ben podcast, the Classic Codes, Conversations with Soft Rain, Uncle Plug TV, and Souls of Thought with the No Middleman podcast, and the RSC Coalition. We have built a giant network of content for you guys. And I just want to keep thanking everyone that keeps coming on. All of the co-host panelists have been awesome. We are so happy to have Ali back. You know, Ali took an extended vacation twice over the last couple of years, and this time he's back, and we're ready to hit the ground rolling in the next season. So the DDOG podcast is Digitally Dreaming Off the Gridiron podcast is the separate channel where you guys will be seeing all of the replay videos and the private videos that we have recorded and posted on there. That's where you guys will be getting all of that. If you missed any parts of this video, you can go back to the DDOG podcast later on today after it's uploaded and get all of this in. We appreciate all the comments. We appreciate the subscribes. Share the channel. We are so active. If you guys like wrestling, that's where you're going to find it at, because we interviewed some really cool wrestlers. Ali, who have we interviewed over the years?
Goddamn, just incredible. I mean, what's his name? Roddy Mack, Ken Shamrock, my man up here. He's over here. Y'all can't see it, but he signed my autograph right there. Kurt Angle, got to do the meet and greet. So, definitely. And, obviously we mentioned just incredible, but because we had him on twice. But yeah, pretty much, we've had, legends from hardcore, from submission grappling, to pure all around like Kurt, and, just phenomenal, guests on the line. So
you guys make sure to check out that Ken Shamrock interview. It was fantastic.
It's on kenshamrock.com. Y'all can see it there. It's a special feature of the podcast on the website. Shout out to Ken. Shout out to his whole family. Appreciate y'all having me, and appreciate y'all, being great partners, and appreciate my boy out here doing his thing, TezDown. I love seeing my, my slime, grow and keep it going. So keep it going, baby. And you already know where we're gonna be 2026. You already know what we're dropping the socials. So I ain't gonna repeat that, but appreciate y'all having us on. And
I'm gonna put it up on the screen real quick so they can find us there.
I have to hop, but I appreciate y'all once again. Wishing everyone a blessed 2026, and we'll connect again soon, and we'll see y'all on Wildcard Weekend. God bless.
Most definitely, sure. Derek. You got anything?
Nah, Brody, I'm chilling.
All right.
Appreciate the time, man.
Hey, I'm Tez. This is 24. This has been the TezDown / DDOG podcast live. I am the co-host and the host with the mostest. I think everybody's got the most here right now. Y'all, thanks for coming in. We'll see y'all in another 24.
I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time.